Assassin's Creed is a new action film produced and starring by Michael Fassbender and based on the video games by the same name.
What do you want from me?
Your past. You're about to enter the Animus. What you see, hear, and feel are the memories of your ancestor, who's been dead for 500 years.
Wait a minute!
So I went into this film hoping that it would be the first good video game movie, and I was not happy. I was very disappointed by the result, because it is a bad film. Like, it's bad for video game films. Like, it's not among the worst, but it's nowhere near the best. And it's just, at every level, it's a bad movie. Like, whoever made it, I don't know what happened. I don't know, at what point they thought what they're doing was good. It's horrible. It's bad. I don't know how some of it got made. And this movie should be tailor-made for me. I have played and beat every single Assassin's Creed game. And it's honestly one of my favorite game series. Like, none of them are the best games, but I know that when I buy an Assassin's Creed game, I'm going to have fun with it. And I'm a male, and I'm between 20 and 35, so I should have been the perfect target for this film. And it sucked. It's a bad movie. And I don't know where it went wrong. It really had the problem that almost every video game movie has, and that some sort of disconnect between video game makers and the movie makers, because they never adapt a game. They only take inspiration from a game and use it for a movie and then slap a name on it so that hoping that all the gamers will go see it. But it's not like books and comic books. Like, there are so many amazing movies that were based on books and comic books and graphic novels. Like, and all of them, they were adapted from it. They didn't like change everything about it like to fit their movie. You know, they changed some things, but for the most part, they used the story in the book, in the comic. And again, I don't know why they can't just use the story in the video games. Like, in this movie, Assassin's Creed, they pretty much threw out everything in the video games. Like, the only thing that they kept is that they're the Animus, that they use to relive ancestral memory. And there is assassins and Templars, and the assassins are almost wiped out now in present day, and the Templars go by Abstergo, and they're trying to find the Apple of Eden so that they control humanity. Like, that's the basic thing, and everything else is change, and I don't see the purpose of it. Even if you didn't want to use Desmond, the present day person that they're in most of the games that they're looking through their ancestral memory, and you didn't want to use Altair from the first game, or Ezio from the best games, or any other people from the later games, you could have kept it in the same world. Because there's been multiple other assassins that Abstergo has gone through their mind to find, their ancestors. So you could have just had a person that could have been in the game. There could have been a game about them. But instead you had to do your own thing. Because the way the games are set up, it'd be so easy to slip another story in a movie in the main narrative. Like, it would take hardly any work to do it. And I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Because everything is set up for this. I know, you still have to explain it to the people that never played the games, but for the millions of people that played the games, they have everything set up. All you have to do is float right into it and use what the game established. But they don't. They have to establish everything of their own. And it's just poorly done on every step. And to me, the biggest failure from this, the step from video game to movie, is that if you look at the video games I have up here, they're not all of them. They're half of them. Rest I've loaned out or traded in. But if you look at them and every other game in the Assassin's Creed series, You look at who's on the cover. Is it a person in the futuristic present? No! It's the guy in the past. The cool people. The people that you play most of the game playing. The people that have an interesting story that everyone wants to experience. That people that makes it seem like, oh, I wonder what my ancestors did. I wonder what happens if I could live throughout their interesting parts of their lives. Like, the Desmond is the framework of the story to get you back into the past. But in this movie, Michael Fassbender is the main, he's his present day version of himself. That is the movie, and the past version of him in the Spanish Inquisition, that is just something to find the apple of Eden, something to move the story along, and something to give an easy action scene to. And it's just frustrating. I mean, so much of the stuff in the present day with Fassbender is so slow and stupid and corny and just really bad. And, the stuff in the past, some of it is cool, but, the guy, the director doesn't know how to direct action. He's like the Taken 2 and 3 and all the other horrible action films from America, where they jump cut every time, and like you can't see anything that's going on, and like some of the scenes, I know, like there's one the first time they go back, it's there's like a chariot chase sort of thing, and a lot of it I could tell was practical, and I mean it must have cost a lot to film, and parts of it looked really cool, but to have it edited so choppily and filmed so poorly, it's just a waste. When I saw the trailer and heard about this film, I never would have expected to be so few scenes in the past. Like, there are 3 scenes in the past where he goes back. And there's one, the cold opening, it makes no sense, and it's in the past as well. But there's 3 scenes where he's living the past. And that's it. Like, they're just 3 little action scenes. And every little scene is intercut with Fassbender jumping around on the robotic dildo arm and making it so that it completely breaks up the action. And it's just, I don't know why would he do that? In the video games, like 90%, 95%, 99%, depending on the game, is spent in the past. But that is the interesting part. And this one, I don't think you even learn the name of the character in the past for Fassbender that he's playing. Like, and he has a love interest, you never really see them talk or do anything. He has a mentor you never know about. Like, there's no reason to care about anything in the past. And that's the interesting characters in the video games. Why wouldn't you make them a character instead of just, a plot point for the modern day Fassbender to learn the ways of the assassin and become a modern day assassin, when it's just stupid. So the beginning of the movie is one of the most ridiculous opening scenes that I've ever seen in a movie. Because it starts out, there's like a slow crawl of words, this exposition explaining, what about the assassins and the Templars and all that. And it looks like it was done by a high schooler typing up some words on a computer or something. And right after that, it makes the entire thing pointless, because in the ritual where they're putting the past Michael Fassbender's character and making him an official assassin, and they explain everything that they just said in the crawl. It makes it completely redundant and pointless. Like, right from the bat, I saw that, and I was watching it with my brother, and we both looked at each other like, why would they do that? And we knew that we were in for shit-tastic 2 hours, or whatever it is. We then go to another pointless scene, which feels like it's from a completely different movie, where Fassbender's character as a kid is out riding his bike and doing tricks, and there's like an eagle flying overhead, and it's like trying to be like the Assassin's Creed game, but in the present. And it's the tone is very, very odd. But then when he comes home, he finds his dad is in assassin's garb, and he's killed his mother. And they're like, run, they're coming. And I don't get, if you have enough time to put on all your assassin's gear and kill your wife, maybe you have enough time to run away, you know? If the kid can run away and end up in foster care without the Templars finding him, I think you probably could have run away too. Like, just because your wife had ancestral memory that you somehow knew they would want, like, why would you kill her? Why wouldn't you fight? And if you knew that the ancestral memory is so important, why would you have a child? Why would you ever do anything like that? I mean, it's so odd. But when you actually get, right after this scene, it's 30 years later. And you don't know anything about his character, Fassbender. Like, he's in jail, like he's about to be killed, and for who knows what, and he's like drawing weird paintings. And like you find out later, the reason he was on death row was that he killed a pimp. A pimp. On death row for killing a pimp. Now, I don't know, like, this is set in America, I believe, and death row is getting tougher and tougher to actually do, because the drug companies don't want to be known as the people supplying the death drugs. So it's getting tougher and tougher to do lethal injection and kill people for what they did. And it is reserved for the absolute worst crimes that a person can do. And that does not include killing a pimp. And they don't explain anything else about it. Like, they don't explain was Fassbender also a pimp, and he killed him in like a fight over territory? Was he screwing a prostitute, and the pimp tried to shake him down and he killed him? Was he defending a prostitute that was being banged, that was being hit by a pimp, and he killed him? Like, you don't know anything about the situation. Like, it just feels like the creator of the movie were saying, okay, I have this really cool idea. He'll be on death row, and they'll kill him, but then he'll wake up, and it'll be an abstergo. And it's all a ruse. Like, oh, that's awesome. But wait, we don't want him to kill anyone good, you know? We still want him to be a good guy. He can't kill anyone that people would feel sorry for. Oh, how about a pimp? Everyone hates pimps. Yeah, we'll have him kill a pimp. That's perfect. So when he wakes up, he's in this gigantic futuristic prison. And it is the most ridiculous thing. Because the whole idea of the Animus, which in this movie is really goofy, but the idea is that when you're going through the past ancestral memories, like, your body's learning the moves from the past, and it's becoming the muscle memory almost. So essentially, they're training a new era of assassins through the best of their ancestors, and then they have the weapons of their trade in easy reach, and they have all these assassins here that are not like locked up; they're just roaming freely, and they expect nothing to go wrong. They expect a couple of people with truncheons can take care of them when they all decide to escape. And it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, Abstergo, they are not good people. And then the Templars, they would kill the assassins after they got what they wanted from them. Or they would lock them up and throw away the key. They wouldn't just let them roam free. I mean, the very first thing all these other assassins do is they try to convince Michael Fassbender not to let them find out where the Apple of Eden is in his memories. And then when he seems reluctant to do that, they try to kill him. And they never think, maybe we should isolate him like he is in the video games. Or it's like they wanted to have a prison movie within the Assassin's Creed movie. Like, I don't get the point of it. So he meets the person that we help him through the synchronization of the Animus, and she's a Marion Cotillard, and her character is so stupid. Like, she thinks that she's trying to find a way to end violence in humanity, and they try to act like she's the daughter of one of the big Templars and the head of the Abstergo, and it's supposed to be like you never meet. Like, there's no one to head Abstergo in the video games. It's a giant monolithic thing that is trying to manipulate the human race, and like they probably don't have a leader, but they have to make it personal for this film, and she is so weird. It's like, oh, I'm trying to end the violence. It's like, won't you help me end the violence? And humanity is violent. The world is violent. Like, so I mean that if you do somehow end violence, everyone would have to be a vegetarian. And I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. But and there's also the whole thing with her dad, which when he goes to talk to all the other Templars, and it's just so corny and so stupid. But when they get to the Animus, like in the video game, it's a little Matrixy, where they kind of lay in this machine and they hook him up to a computer, and it goes into the memory in his DNA, and you try to like synchronize with your ancestor, and when you do more things like the ancestor do, the better synchronization you have. And the whole idea is that if you do something that, like, if you start killing civilians, then you desynchronize and the game's over or whatever. And the idea is that, like, you're in your own mind, kind of, but they're also recording it. But in this one, I think it's almost like augmented reality. Like, they don't show anyway, like, how they have isolated his DNA or how he's in the memory. Like, they have this thing go around his waist and this giant mechanical arm, and it looks so stupid. Like, in the trailer I thought it could be cool, but in this, like, how would you hold on by the waist of someone? Like, that would destroy their hips. Like, Fassbender, he's not a small guy. Like, that would destroy your hips and your lower back and your waist. I mean, it would not be good. There's this really thin little thing wrapping around him. Like, you'd have to grip under around the groin too, or around the shoulders for a harness, but no. And he has like an epidural or something in his neck, but there's like no, like, he goes up in the air, and the arm is like mimicking his movements, and they have these projectors and around that project the world that he's in the past. And I mean, I guess they're going for like a more visual representation of it, but it's just stupid and a waste of money, and it's just annoying. A slight spoiler, but the big plot point of when he's going back is that he can't make the leap of faith. Like, and that's like in every game you do it constantly. Like, that's how you scout out a new area and find out where everything is. You have to climb a tall building and you search in the area, and then you leap off of it into a little hay bale, like a little end. And the movie is like he desynchronizes when he can't like do the jump, and he ends up paralyzed for a bit. And then the climax of the past scenes is when he finally does a leap of faith, and the machine breaks. It's like, oh, he did it. He did the leap of faith and achieved full synchronization. Oh my god! And somehow the arm just breaks. Like, the arm is doing the movement. Why would the arm break? It's not like he's actually falling and doing this stuff. And the arm also doesn't really make sense, because they, like, every time he's doing some parkour or anything, they go back to the present day when he's like, the arm's like moving him over and doing this stuff. But they never show how the arm would move if he's just running or walking in a straight line. Because, like, there's not that much of a circumference, the area. It's not very wide, but it's like a huge tower. So you could go up really easy, but I don't know how you would like go in a straight line. I guess you'd have to curve it, or you'd have to like just have him like almost on a treadmill, like he's just running in place. Well, it's all of it seems like a hassle for no real reason. So as for the acting in this movie, I mean, it's fine. Like, it seems like everyone's kind of phoning it in. But, I mean, you have a lot of great actors in the film, like, even in little bit parts. And they're fine, but, like, they don't do anything interesting. They don't seem to really care. Maybe it's like quick payday. And it's weird because, I mean, I would have thought that Mike Fassbender, he was, like, kind of forced to do this. Like, if he did, like, to do some other movie he really wanted to do, he had to do Assassin's Creed. But, I mean, he has producer credit, so it seems like he wanted to do this. And to make such a shit movie, I don't know what happened. Also, what I hate is that this movie is PG-13, but it could easily been, like, PG. Because, I mean, there's violence, but there's no blood. And, I mean, at one point, someone's throat gets slit. And it's the most bloodless throat slit I've ever seen. Like, it's like, whoosh, and there's no line, there's nothing. Like, there's nothing to say that he was killed, except after you see some really dark blood slowly flow away from him. And it's just, I don't know. Like, if you're doing this movie, why wouldn't you, like, I would have it, the very first scene, he's in the past. And they're doing his, like, first assassination for his character. And you get some character development. And then you even have, I love the scene that, like, you know, when the game does the whole present day and, you know, breaking the flow of everything, it's usually after you completed a mission. And it's like when you kill your target and all of a sudden you, like, it kind of focuses out and it's like you're in the Animus. And you see the character talking to you and saying, like, what his dreams were and why he did it. And it's kind of like almost a way to say, like, humanizing these people these Templars that you're killing. Like, they're not all horrible. There's a reason for what they do. And that would be and then once that happens, like, you're pulled out of the Animus and you still have Marion Cotillard or whatever, and she's talking to you about, oh, how, you know, good job or something. And that would be the perfect way to start it. And in this movie, there is no assassination. Like, there are assassins. Like, you see at the very end, there's an assassination. But in the past, there was no assassination. Like, in the past, all he's doing, even though they're assassins, is that they're trying to save this random kid so that the king won't give the apple to the enemy. And, I mean, they're never assassins. Like, why wouldn't you have an assassination? Like, that's the biggest part of the game. I mean, there's surprisingly little fan service throughout the movie. Like, every once in a while you'll see, like, a wagon full of hay and be like, ah, but then he won't jump in it. And you'll see, like, the eagle all the time, but, like, and you don't see the eagle vision where he's able to, like, to look and see different things. And that's one of the best parts of the first video game. Like, I love the ending where after you completed everything and you're, like, kind of left alone in your room, and you find that after living through the past, you have now the powers of Altair in the game, and you can see other things than, like, you normally see. And you use the vision, look around the room, and it's just scrawled all over with, like, symbols and like, those splattered blood, and, like, all this stuff. And it's like, oh boy, that's not good. Something's going on here. Something's not right. And in the later games, like, I like that, you know, that you escape and they created their own Animus that you kind of in and trying to find the apple before Abstergo does. And it honestly has one of the coolest scenes in a video game. I think it's in Assassin's Creed 2, or maybe like the 2.5 or whatever, I forget they're called. But the whole idea is that this Apple of Eden and all the stuff that you're finding, they're ancient aliens almost, or like an ancient civilization before our own, and they're almost like they're gods. And at one point, like, you go and you unlock something, and this woman, this, like, ancient being, talks not to the character in the past, but through that character to Desmond in the present. and it sent the chills down me. Like it was whoa. I was like, whoa, when it happened. Like it's talking straight to the camera, and it almost felt like it was talking to me through like multiple levels of characters, and I love that aspect of it. But they don't even talk about it. They say like they throw one mention of an ancient civilization about the Apple of Eden when they're talking about it. Like they don't know what it is, but like I don't know why you wouldn't use stuff from the game. It's like they thought the story in the game was shit, so they wanted to make their own story. And you know, there's no point in talking about the ending because the ending is stupid, but it is what it is. But I probably give the movie like a 5 out of 10, maybe a 4. And I would not recommend it, you know, even if you're a fan of the game. Like maybe stream it or download it when it comes out online. But I would not advise going out of your way to see it. It's not a good movie. So thanks for watching, and you can check out my movie reviews and book reviews over here and here. Then thanks.